Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Let's go through the next Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks. So again, these promos, this is the easiest money we're going to make. Asia Wilson. Don't know much about the WNBA, but you can see PrizePicks for Taco Tuesday. They're reducing her player points line to 21.5. So I've explained this before, but with these promos, what you could always do is you could always middle bet this. Like you can see Hot Streak has her line at 26.5, just kind of looking at the sportsbook screen. So what you could do is better over 21.5 for the PrizePicks promo, which we're going to do. Hedge a little, take her under 26.5 on Hot Streak or under 25.5 on Underdog, but we're not going to do that. Let's just look for some picks on PrizePicks. So let me go ahead, let's refresh this, and let's just kind of see what plays are available, stuff like that. So where should we start? So you can see there's a lot of soccer line discrepancies. You can see right here, League of Legends as well. But unfortunately, for League of Legends, at least currently, whatever type of League of Legends is going on, only PrizePicks and Underdog Fantasy have lines. So you only really have 2 data points on where the line should be set. So it's just a little less clear, where's the value, whatever. But anyways, we obviously want to take Wilson's over. So all this fantasy optimizer does that we're kind of looking at right here, right? Fantasy optimizer PrizePicks is it just kind of scans PrizePicks and points out plays winning above 54.25% of the time. So we've explained before, but PrizePicks is a fixed payout sportsbook. They don't change your payout based on the picks you select. So any 2-pick entry you create, League of Legends, what the fuck ever, you're always going to be getting a 3x payout, overs, unders, all that type of stuff. So everything on PrizePicks just boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. So the really simple strategy for beating PrizePicks is, compare their lines to sportsbooks. So if you see here, Zach Davies, we want to take him over 3.5 strikeouts. So if we go over to Caesar Sportsbook, why is the fantasy optimizer recommending this play? So we got Braxton's under earlier, but you can see for his over, right? All the sportsbooks, again, even if you don't use these sportsbooks, Pinnacle is a Canadian sportsbook, and it's in Europe and stuff like that. But I can't bet on it. It's not like I actively bet on it, but I still take a look at, I still want to look at their odds because it's a source of information on where should the line be set. And you're going to see every sports book, right? All these books are, sophisticated. They have really good pricing models, all that type of stuff. You can see they all have him heavily favored to go over. So FanDuel's all the way down at minus 156. And you can kind of see here a line movement chart. So he's always been favored to go over minus 130. Now he's just a bigger favorite, minus 156. And again, sometimes you'll see these lines move on a lot of times it's lineups and stuff, right? So you'll see when official lineups come out. I mean, if this guy is, facing a bunch of shitty hitters who are more likely to strike out, then his strikeout line is going to get more juiced. But anyways, next we can go to Alyssa Thomas, okay? So this is the next play it's recommending. So we got another WNBA game. So WNBA playoffs. We got 2 big games. So Alyssa Thomas under 16.5 points. Why do we like this? So it's okay, let's consider all the data points. You'll see, kind of on this fantasy optimizer on OddsJam, it's FanDuel's got a line on Alyssa Thomas. She is the stud for the Connecticut Sun. So you can see here, right, her under is heavily favored. Here it's the line is also at 16.5 on FanDuel, but they have her a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. Obviously, we want to take her to go under if that's the more likely outcome, right? And then you can see DraftKings, they have her line at 15.5, so they're even lower. So it's that's interesting. So then we have, Taria McCowan under 10 rebounds. So again, it's just kind of following the market. The market, first of all, you're not going to outsmart these books. They've invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. And also, again, they have the benefit of they're taking bets and they're moving around lines due to where action's coming in. So a lot of people talk about like public money and shit like that. Like that's already encompassed in the odds. These sportsbooks don't want millions of dollars of risk on Zach Davies to go over or under 3.5 strikeouts. If everyone bets his over, they're going to move lines towards his over, right? So let's say like all the good hitters for the opposing team, he's on the Diamondbacks, right? So like if all the other good hitters get injured, so we want her under 10 rebounds. Damn, that is a high rebound line. So we're going to take the under. FanDuel has the line at 9.5. But right, like let's say a lot of people would be like, oh, I'm smarter than the sports books. It's like, okay. But you got to remember it's a market. So like let's say all the good hitters for the White Sox, I mean, I think the White Sox suck, but let's say they're all injured today or they all sit out, right? Like his strikeout line, because he's going to be facing a bunch of dummies, you know, is probably going to have to move higher to maybe 4.5 strikeouts. So like, you know, everyone else, even if the sportsbook doesn't move the line immediately, like people will bet his strikeout line up because he's facing a bunch of dummies. So like the market moves based on where action's coming in. So anyways, we got a couple good picks and it's like, okay, we got a couple good picks. We have Davies. Ooh, shit, man. Let's go. So here we have Michael King, over 5.5 strikeouts. How do we feel about this? Underdog Fantasy has the line at 6 strikeouts. FanDuel, right? We can check out the Yankees game real quick, and then let's try to lock it in. You can see Yankees game, you know, they have his line at 6.5 on FanDuel. So long story short, like, okay, like, you know, getting this over seems pretty solid. Over 5.5 we're getting. Underdog has the line at 6. FanDuel has the line at 6.5. But you got to remember, like, FanDuel also has these alternate strikeout lines. So over 5.5 is the same as 6+, right? Over 5.5 means 6 or more, so 6+. FanDuel has that as a big favorite, -166. So here's what I'm going to go with for Taco Tuesday. And again, I would bet more on it, but the max they give me is $5, which is BS on my Taco Tuesday plays. But here we go. We got the first play, right? We got some WNBA unders. We got the Taco, and then we got some good MLB plays, right? FanDuel has this as a -166 favorite. Underdog Fantasy has King's line just straight up higher. So this seems like a pretty dang good play to go with for tonight. So overs, unders, overs. So WNBA at MLB parlay. What's up, guys? That headshot play from last night went crazy. Yeah, PrizePicks is pretty fun until they, you know, fuck you. Pinnacle is in Curacao. That is a place I have not been. Would you run with a 2-man? So you can play a 2-man. I mean, sometimes maybe I'm a little mean and I say people who play 2-mans are idiots, which isn't, you know, it's kind of true. But, you know, like this play is really good. So you can always play a 2-man with it if there's only one pick you really like. But your profit margin isn't going to be as high as, you know, if you're playing 5-pick flex plays. And the reason is if you go through PrizePicks, like, it's kind of interesting, right? So, like, let's say you can win your prop bets, like Brianna Stort over under 22.5 points. Let's say you're, like, pretty fucking good at gambling, and you can win these prop bets, these over-unders, 56% of the time, right? So you can get these more or less correctly 56% of the time. This is why it kind of matters if you're playing 5 flex versus 2 powers. If you're winning your picks 56% of the time, so you're hitting 56, again, you're winning prop bets just like this over under 56% of the time. Playing 5-man flex plays, literally just going through the math behind how PrizePicks pays out. For 5-man flex plays, your ROI would be 12%. For 2-pick power plays, right, 5 flex was 12%. For 2-man powers, you're still losing money, -6%. So 2-man powers are pretty horrible, which is why you'll always see me, I mean, wins, losses, whatever. I mean, you'll always see me kind of going with, you know, 5 flex plays. So it doesn't look like we have a good start there, but hey, we'll have to see. Damn. Not a good start on PrizePicks. Hopefully Underdog Fantasy had a better start, but we'll see. Have not had my luck on PrizePicks yesterday, it seems like. Damn. So we'll have to see how some of these play out. But anyways, what we can do next is we can go to Underdog. So we got to play, well, actually, we can go back to PrizePicks. So we have some plays on PrizePicks, or we found some good ones. Obviously, Taco Tuesday, I can only bet for like $5, which is kind of stupid. Again, these League of Legends plays, you only have 2 data points. So typically when this happens, like, it's still valuable information. So like for this League of Legends play, it's like, this line is 14. I did not realize there's like a World Cup for League of Legends. We have Vietnam versus India. But, this guy's line is 14 on PrizePicks. It's 15.5, on Underdog Fantasy. All the OddsJam Optimizer, again, is trying to do is point out discrepancies, right? Like most plays don't have any value. They suck, right? We're looking for those few spots where books are, screwing up. Like if we look at Mitch Garver, for example, like Underdog has his line at 1.5. Hits plus runs plus RBIs, so does PrizePicks. There's no discrepancies in the market, right? You want to zone in on these plays where there's discrepancies. So 14 versus 15.5 is a pretty big deal. So what you could do too is you could bet is under on Underdog, bet is over on PrizePicks. It's kind of like buying a stock for $14, flipping it, selling it for $15.50. It's called middle betting. So anyways, let's go over to Underdog. We can take a look. Again, the more books you have, the better. We've gone through it a bunch of times, but all these books have different promos. Today, PrizePicks has Taco Tuesday, right? They're running this play on the WNBA. You can see right here we have, Max Muncy, a boosted payout on Underdog. It's kind of all these books have different promos that we can take advantage of. So the more books, we have access to, the better. No, I don't want League of Legends. I'm trying to filter it out. So we can go here. And we can just kind of take a look at, let's just kind of take a look at some of these picks. Damn, so we already got some NFL bets showing up. Okay. So Alyssa Thomas under 16.5. We also had that recommended. Whoa. Damn. So here we go, right? Like on Underdog Fantasy, should we start building a Thursday night football slip? Under half of an interception for Jared Goff. So if you take a look here, you can see some sports books have started to release odds. So if we go to Pinnacle, as an example, or what other books have released odds for, books are starting to drop NFL props for Thursday night football. So where's passing props? Does DraftKings have the line out yet? Interceptions, right? You can see Jared Goff, he's favored to go under, right? He's projected, he's more likely, like you can see here, right? For Jared Goff, he's favored to not throw an interception. His under is more likely. For Jordan Love, his over is more likely. So you can see here's Pinnacle Sportsbook, right? If you just kind of take a look here, even though we don't use this sportsbook, we look at it as a point of comparison. So if we look at him, right, you can see he's minus 140 to not throw an interception. So again, Underdog Fantasy, just like PrizePicks, this is a platform where they're not going to change our payout based on us selecting over versus under. It has fixed payouts, so we want to take the under. And again, Underdog Fantasy has a promo going on right now. So if you want to go with that, in your promo play, you always can. I do like these unders as well. So we have Miles. All right, so we can take some unders. Sometimes unders are fun. So we got some good unders. So what else do we like? How does this play, right? So we have Jaden Reed under 3.5 receptions. So when you're playing things in the same game, I try to be a little careful. Just playing things in the same game. But this makes sense, right? Like if Goff doesn't throw an interception, then most likely, Detroit's playing better, they're on the field longer. So Jaden Reed is more likely to go under 3.5 receptions. And you can see it's the same thing here, right? Like all the books have his under heavily favored. FanDuel actually has his line at 2.5 receptions. Then we have Alyssa Thomas under 16.5 points. So you could go with this. Again, some of these plays, the Tommy Pham play and the Miles play, those were both in yellow. So they're kind of like marginal, but if you want to have a little more fun with it, I mean, fuck it, right? So if you look at like Tommy Pham, if we go to the Diamondbacks game, I hate baseball. But if we go here, if we go to the Diamondbacks game, where is it, right? And this is very rational, right? Like Underdog Fantasy, they don't change your payout depending on if you take his over or his under. So the strategy for beating them is, pretty simple. It's like, go over, look at, batter props. Where are batter props? Batter runs right here. And like, even if you don't use Caesars, it's a source of information. So you're going to see Caesars has him as a big favorite to go under, minus 141. So here we go. We got a little 5-pick entry. Boom, 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 right? So 5 good picks. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that in a second. And again, the more books you have, the better. Like I've explained before, but there's 200 sports books out there. There's a lot of good bets on FanDuel. Like this play looks great. Tatis Jr. over 1.5 hits. You can get this plus 195 on FanDuel. Every other book around like plus 158, plus 160. That seems solid. Plus 195 seems incredible. Paul Blackburn over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 110 on PointsBet. But again, you can see they actually just ripped it down to minus 115. Some of these good bets, they move quick. But anyways, here's what we can go with. So I'm going to play a 5-pick with insurance, which is the best type of slip on Underdog. 3 picks are very close, but a little worse. So ideally, so ideally you can play, it doesn't really matter. 5 versus 3, it's pretty marginal. But that's the strategy for beating these fixed payout platforms, right? Is like, number one, there's really 2 ways to get an edge. So we know on PrizePicks, right? Let's go over to PrizePicks. We know 4-5 flex plays, we have to win about 54.2% of our picks to be profitable. So again, this positive EV tool, it just like points out value on whatever books you use. But if we go back to PrizePicks here, and let's actually go to Underdog Fantasy, and let's load this bad boy up. Damn. Anyways, will be interesting to see how some of these shake out. So like this, for example, hopefully, I mean, it won't really matter because it seems like the side on PrizePicks lost. But this is a middle bet. So like you can see here, where is it? I have him over 2 shots on PrizePicks. So at this point, I want him to stop taking shots, right? I have the under 3 on Underdog. So I'll get a 6x payout, right? If he doesn't have any more shots. And on PrizePicks, I'll push, right? So this is a tie, and my 5-leg parlay goes to a 4-leg parlay on PrizePicks. It will push. That doesn't really matter because these 2 plays have lost already, but I could still go 3 for 5 and get some money back. Again, I have shitty betting limits as well. But that was a middle bet. 2 versus 3 is crazy, right? There's a pretty good chance he ends this game with 3. I mean, we can actually see Barcelona soccer. How far are they into the game? So the game's halfway through, and I need him to not have any more shots. But anyways, and again, a lot of people would be like, oh, you're stupid, this one lost. And sure, I mean, I'm definitely going to lose bets and go on losing streaks. But these are 6x payouts. You're betting 100 to win 600. Even if you just win 1 out of every 4, you're crushing it, right? If you lose 3 in a row, you're down $300, and then you go up 600, your net profit would be, 600. But anyways, here's what we just locked in if you want to tail. So again, there's really 2 ways on these fixed payout platforms like Underdog, ParlayPlay, PrizePicks. They're all basically the same, right? They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. Is the first way you can beat them is here, right? There's no line discrepancy. All the sports books have Zach Davies' line at 3.5 strikeouts, but they all have him, right? On PrizePicks, literally if you just break down the payouts, and let me actually share this spreadsheet. all it boils down to being profitable on PrizePicks is winning above 54, anyways, Val on underdogs didn't hit. I mean, it looks like we got some that hit, bro. Don't be such a negative Nancy. It looks like these two plays hit, right? I mean, like, we got, damn, he's already at 3 shots. So now I need him to stop, right? Ideally, he doesn't have any more shots. I mean, this is going to be beat if this one doesn't hit. But what I was going to say is, on PrizePicks, it's very simple. If you win over 54.25% of your bets, your over-unders, right? If you can win your picks, just like, Vietnam bot or, Brianna Stort, if you can win these above 54.25% of the time, you're going to be profitable long term. This is just the math behind PrizePicks. So if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? From PrizePicks' perspective, they know most people don't have an edge. Most people don't have an advantage. And if you don't have an advantage, right, you're going to win these over-unders 50% of the time. Like if you let your grandma or grandpa make a bet on Brianna Stort going over or under, it's basically like flipping a coin. They're not going to have an advantage, 50-50 to win or lose. So if that's the case, right, your ROI, if you suck and you don't have an edge, your ROI winning 50% of your picks would be negative 25%. So PrizePicks is banking on you not being able to win your picks above 54.25% of the time, right? And PrizePicks probably tries to, they try to find where they're getting equal action on the over and the under coming in, because then it's always going to be, right? If 100 people bet are over on PrizePicks, 100 people bet are under, PrizePicks is always going to have customers winning 50% of the time, or they're only going to, be paying out 50% if they get an equal amount of action coming in on both sides. So PrizePicks is going to earn an ROI of 25%. For every $100 bet, PrizePicks earns roughly $25. Think about that. That's insane. That's insane, right? PrizePicks is, for all the degenerates on PrizePicks, you're making the company a lot of money. But anyways, PrizePicks. Right? So like the first way to find picks winning above 54.25% of the time is you find, okay, like here it's like literally every fucking sports book, every data point, every sports book, You got a couple billion-dollar companies here, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM. They have better models than you. They're taking bets, moving around lines due to where action's coming in. They all have his over pretty heavily favored. So that's the first way, right, where you can get an edge on PrizePicks. And then the second way, is you find line discrepancies, right? So like this player on, like here, for example, this play on like, Jude Bellingham, or it looks like this line ended up moving, but sometimes, sometimes you'll see a player, damn, hopefully this guy doesn't play in the second half. Man, he scored a goal and everything. But anyways, sometimes you'll see like, okay, like PrizePicks has their line at 2.5 and all the sports books are at 3.5. That obviously indicates to us like, oh, dang, like, there's good value on the over. Anyways, we can go to ParlayPlay next, and then we can go back to PrizePicks, and then maybe we can go back to Underdog Fantasy. So you can see a lot of good bets on FanDuel. I love FanDuel. I just don't currently have access to it. You could parlay these two things together. Chapman over 1.5 bases, plus 165. Looks pretty damn good. All the other books are pricing him around plus 120. Anyways, let's go back here. Let's go to ParlayPlay quickly. And then, maybe back to PrizePicks or Underdog Fantasy or something like that. So if we pull this up, right, it's like, again, this platform, like it basically is the same thing as PrizePicks. They just have higher payouts. PrizePicks has pretty shitty payouts in general. They also have shitty betting limits compared to other sports books. So you can see, like, why do we want to take as, I obviously follow a very data-driven approach. Like, to put it plainly, also college football player props should be coming out, like tomorrow, which is going to be nice. But anyways, we got ParlayPlay here. So what I was going to say is, on this platform, right, ParlayPlay, it's kind of like PrizePicks. They have better payouts though, right? Like, okay, like every sportsbook has Kevin Gaussman heavily favored to go over 4.5, to give up over 4.5 hits allowed. You know, and again, like you can see books have been ripping lines towards his over, most likely on lineup news. So Yankees, Blue Jays, he's the pitcher for the Blue Jays. So if we go here, like you can see here, right, like this is what causes a lot of the pitcher prop line movements, right? Because my assumption is what ended up happening is official lineups came out, and it's like, oh, damn, it's a lot of hitters who put the ball in play and get a lot of singles and get on base. So his over 4.5 hits allowed, you know, the betting market starts to rip odds towards his over, which you can see right here. Pinnacle moves from -124 to -146. BetMGM moves towards his over. DraftKings moves towards his over. All these books, Fliff, everyone moves towards his over, right? The market has reflected new information, which is the official starting lineup, that he is more likely to give up hits. He's more likely to go over 4.5 hits allowed. The market moves towards his over, right? Just like, oh, a company made a ton of money in the third quarter of the year, the stock price goes up, reflects new information. So ParlayPlay still has this line available though, which is great for us, right? We found this, whatever, inefficiency, whatever the fuck you want to call it, in the market, right? And that's what the positive EV tool is pointing out, is like, yo, all the books have this over heavily favored. But again, you don't really need to know that. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, you know, you can see Bovada, -130 to -150. A lot of people would be like, oh, like, you know, what did he do last game? It's like, who the fuck cares? It's already baked into the market, right? Like, if he gave up 2 hits or 100 hits last game, it's baked into the market. You know, just because the Dolphins won last week doesn't mean they're going to beat the Bills, right? Just following what happened last game is the stupidest thing in the world. Damn. So you can see some other plays popping up as well. So what we can do... Man, we got some interesting names. Estevan Florial. Let's take a look at this guy. So this doesn't make sense, though. I don't want to take a player to go over in hits allowed and then take a player on the opposing team to go under in bases. That doesn't make a ton of sense. But Eflin, under 15.5 outs, does make sense, right? And I always just, you know, just follow the data. So you can see here, right, like all the books have his under heavily favored. Pinnacle all the way down at -150. Seems like a decent play to go with. Nothing to write home about, maybe. But hey, you know, pretty good play with, you know, pretty good value. What else you got for me? Damn. So, Hosea Gray, same thing, right? But like sportsbooks have his under heavily favored. George Springer, over. Okay. Damn. So we got a lot of plays. So there are a lot of good plays right now. So we want to take Gray under 4.5 hits allowed, right? And again, you can just kind of like, you can also look for these things manually, right? Just pull up ParlayPlay, pull up the sports books. You can kind of take a look. OddsJam's just scanning the market, trying to make it easier on you. But if you look up hits plus runs plus RBIs, it's like, oh, what a surprise. Springer's over is heavily favored. He's more likely to go over according to the data, according to the market. Right? And then for pitcher props, hits allowed. Let's look at Gray, right? Oh, what a surprise. He's heavily favored to go under. So we got 1, 2. This play is starting to look beautiful. What just happened? I thought I was on ParlayPlay. So let's go back to ParlayPlay. And it's like, okay, let's get rid of some of these markets, these new markets. Let's get rid of pitches thrown. And we can just kind of take a look here. Damn. So we got some really good. So this is great, right? Guerrero over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. This pairs really well with Springer. And if you think about it, it should make sense. Damn, there are a lot of bets right now, right? Like if Guerrero goes over in hits plus runs plus RBIs, his teammate Springer is more likely to go over. So you can see they have this like little slide the line promo, but honestly, fuck it. I'm not going to do that. So the max bet size on this platform is $60. which is really annoying. And you can see hits available for Hosea Gray is not available. So on this platform, you want to go with 5 or 6 pick entries. So I'm going to lock in this 5 pick entry, right? And you can see there's a lot of good bets on ParlayPlay right now. So if we look at like WNBA player points, Tiffany Hayes, ParlayPlay has the line at 12, all the other books at 11.5. But you want to consider the juice as well. So on ParlayPlay, right, because they have better payouts than PrizePicks on ParlayPlay, PrizePicks you have to win like 54.2% of your over-unders, right? You got to win bets just like this on PrizePicks 54.2% of the time to be profitable. On ParlayPlay, it's 1% lower, 53.2. So in other words, if you can win your bets, your over-unders, right, just like this, if you can win these over-unders 54% of the time, your ROI on ParlayPlay would be positive 7%, whereas on PrizePicks, you would still be negative, right? Because you got to win 54.25% of your picks. But anyways, you want to consider the juice, right? So if you look here at Tiffany Hayes, right, ParlayPlay has her line at 12. Sportsbooks have her line at 11.5 with the under favored. DraftKings has her under at minus 135. Her under's the favored outcome. So anyways, let's go back to ParlayPlay. So if you're just tuning in, here's what we got on PrizePicks, Taco Tuesday. They limited me to a $5 max bet size. Here's what we have on ParlayPlay. Also solid correlation. I mean, not incredible, but it makes sense, right? Like if Springer gets on base and is getting hits, then Vladdy is more likely to get RBIs and hits. And, you know, like these things, taking overs for players on the same team makes sense. Damn. So this is fucking beat too. I mean, who's that guy who said we didn't catch a single Valorant play? Get the fuck out of here, man. That's 1. There we got 2 right there. I mean, this play obviously didn't cash. This play's looking beautiful too. Our early NFL pick. So not horrible. I mean, nothing to write home about, but hopefully, you know, this guy stays under. But not horrible. So on PrizePicks, we locked in this. On Underdog, we locked in this, all unders. And then on ParlayPlay, we locked in this if you want to, you know, tail what's still available. Would you still take a play on PrizePicks that has 53% edge? No, I wouldn't. Mark Mullins, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'm in Cali. Parlay 100%. Can you guys add fantasy score? We'll look into it. Yeah, it is annoying, Joseph, being minimized to 2 persons for the promo funds, but it's just kind of how it is. But yeah, I'd, you know, like a lot of people will be like, oh, like, you know, do I have to sign up for ParlayPlay? Can I not just play this stuff on PrizePicks? It's like, well, you know, first of all, PrizePicks has worse payouts. But second of all, it's like, again, like we got under 12, right? PrizePicks has the line at 11.5. If Tiffany Hayes has 11 points, you're not going to be happy if you're on the under 11.5 when you could have gotten under 12. So it's kind of easier to just like sign up for, you know, both of these sports books. It's not that fucking complicated. It'll take you like 5 minutes. So anyways, what we can do is we can go back here. And we can also take Gaussman over 7.5 strikeouts. So what's nice about ParlayPlay is on Underdog Fantasy, they only let you bet $100 max bet size per player. Whereas on ParlayPlay, it's per market. So for example, on Underdog, we just locked in this. And I took Goff to go under in interceptions, which they ended up pulling. Man, they fucking move things quick. But you'll see if I try to like, you know, whatever, like bet on his passing TDs line now, you're going to see like they're going to be like, oh, you know, whatever, like, oh, you've already hit your limit. But on ParlayPlay, they'll still let me bet Gaussman. And again, they have this little like bump the line promo where we already like him going over 7.5. But if you want to, you could bump it down to over 7. But then you can only play it for like $20. And again, if you're just tuning in, here's the PrizePicks Taco. All plays seem decent. So let's go back here. So we have Tiffany Hayes under this. Alyssa Thomas play. Again, DraftKings has a line at 15.5. FanDuel has pretty heavy juice towards the under. So it's like, whatever. I mean, we're already on it. On Underdog, man, we're all over this play. We have it on Underdog, right? We have it on PrizePicks and our Taco. but I'm going to take it again on ParlayPlay. Again, I have these max betting limits on all these platforms, so whatever, like, I'll take whatever I can get. We got McCowan under 10 rebounds. I'm going to take this again. So again, a lot of times you'll see the line movement happens on sports books first. So we can pull up hits allowed. You know, so this betting tool is called the sportsbook screen. It doesn't like recommend bets, but it just kind of shows you like, okay, like where are books posting lines, stuff like that. So we can look at Tanner Houck. Let's take a look at him. What's his deal? Nope, we want to go to MLB, player hits allowed. So again, I don't like, you know, love ParlayPlay. It just has pretty good payouts. And also a lot of line discrepancies, right? So here, it's like they have Tanner's line at 5 hits allowed. All the other books are at 4.5. You know, clear as day, value on the under. And again, they have good payouts too, which is another benefit. So we can take this guy to go under. He kind of looks like me. So now we can take this play. Now this works well, right? Like we skipped over this play on Florial previously because we were taking Gaussman hits allowed. But now this pairs well, right? If Gaussman's getting a lot of strikeouts and he goes over, then, you know, Florial is more likely to go under. Eflin, we already played. So it wouldn't make sense to take Torres over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. That would have made sense, though, to take with the previous one, but I didn't. You can see, damn, there's just a lot of bets right now. Do you want a Bonner under 19.5 points? So we already have a play on the Sun, though, right? We already have Alyssa Thomas going under, so I don't want to take her teammate to go under. That doesn't make a ton of sense, right? So we can go with Joey over 15.5 outs. Cool. So there we have another ParlayPlay slip. So again, like if you look here, 25, 2.5, 0.5 is their payout for the 6-pick entry. So you can see we locked in that slip right here. And on PrizePicks for a 6-pick flex play, right, it's nowhere even close to that good. I mean, it's not that far off. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not that far off. What do you mean no projections found for anything? Come on, PrizePicks. So we can go back here. Again, here's the taco if you're just tuning in that we ended up going with. But if we go back here, right, like PrizePicks for one of these 6-pick flex plays, what payout do they give us, right? You can kind of compare them, and you'll see why ParlayPlay. So if a pick is on both PrizePicks and ParlayPlay, it's like ParlayPlay is giving you more money when you win. If you go 5 for 6, 2.5x here, 2x here, right? Like on PrizePicks, 2.5x on ParlayPlay. So like, you know, obviously better payouts on ParlayPlay, you know, easier to make money, all that sort of stuff. But what we can do is we can go back to like Fliff as well. See if there's anything out there. Take a sip of my coffee. And, damn. So here, this play seems decent. Some random college football bets starting to show up. You know, so like here, it's like, damn, like, you know, some big discrepancy there in the Brewers-Cardinals game. But anyways, we got some good picks down. Here's the ParlayPlay slip. In ParlayPlay as well, if you were tailing yesterday, we're down to McCowan. We have her under 10 rebounds in a new slip, but we need her over 11.5 points to cash this 5-leg parlay from yesterday. What else do we have from yesterday? Here's the PrizePicks taco. And then from yesterday as well, we really need junior under 12 headshots. All these plays are just from the live stream, I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, every play is from the live stream. So, anyways, we can call it a day for now. Hopefully this was helpful. If I didn't get to your questions or anything like that. Oh, can I look at some DraftKings picks? Alex, how much money should I put in to start in the account? Should I just try to work my bankroll up? Yeah, I mean, you can withdraw whenever. Like, if you're not betting the money, or you're only betting a few $100s a day, doesn't make, you don't have to keep a ton of money in your account. But yeah, we can look at DraftKings. So let's go to DraftKings and let's take a look. Damn, so early college football bet, Temple money line plus 154. Let's take a look at this play. So you can see lines have been ripping towards Temple. They opened as plus 180 underdogs. You can see the entire market has just been dropping like a rock. Lines have been moving towards Temple. Who knows? Maybe a good player's out for Tulsa. Maybe it's just sharp action. Everyone looked at the initial odds and are like, damn, But you can see here's kind of the good bets on DraftKings. Best one is Temple plus 154, then Buffalo plus 136. So this is Thursday night football. Temple, Tulsa, plus 154 seems solid. FanDuel all the way down at plus 134. And again, you got to remember how sportsbooks work, right? They charge the VIG. So like FanDuel, for example, the way that FanDuel works is they have a model that spits out what the odds should be, and then they juice their markets. They add in the VIG, right? So on FanDuel, they have Temple. So on FanDuel, they have Temple plus 134, and they have Tulsa minus 162. But that's a market with VIG, right, with juice. So what you can do is you can remove the VIG, and you'll see with the VIG removed, with the spread removed, right? This is the opposite way of how sportsbooks work. The fair line, according to FanDuel, with the VIG removed, the true odds, the fair odds with the VIG removed, are plus 144. We're getting plus 154 on DraftKings, which is above plus 144. So this bet is profitable relative to the market that FanDuel is putting out. It's kind of like if, a stockbroker says, hey, I'll buy this stock for $99, I'll sell it for 101, right? They also make money by charging a spread. That's how the whole financial industry works, right? Spreads. I'll buy this for 99, I'll sell it for 101. I'm 99 bid, I'm 101 offer. Right? So if someone tells you they'll buy something for 99 and they'll sell it to you for 101, like a stock, that's their market, buy it at 99, sell it at 101, they think the fair price is probably worth the midpoint, 101. 100, right? 99, 101. Fair price is the middle, 100. And it's the same thing here on sportsbooks, right? Like FanDuel has this plus 134, minus 162. That's their market. So you remove the VIG, you remove the spread, just like 99 to 101 means the fair price is 100 right in the middle. It's the same thing in sports betting. You remove the VIG, plus 144 is the fair price. We're getting plus 154 on DraftKings, so that's great value. And again, you can look at a bunch of sports books. Bet Online is known to be a pretty sharp, a pretty smart sports book. They have their market plus 135, minus 155. So the fair line, according to DraftKings, the true odds, right, on Tulsa is plus 142.84. We're getting plus 154. We're getting above, that. We're getting above fair odds. So a lot of good plays on DraftKings. And again, there's a lot of promos on these books too. Like you can see FanDuel, I was saying earlier, they have a 50% profit boost for Thursday night football. So 50% profit boost, right, just means plus 100 odds goes to plus 150, plus 200, goes to plus 300. So what you can do is you can just if we go to FanDuel, right, you can go to NFL, whatever, Lions game, and this will just show you the best lines on FanDuel. So these are where FanDuel is giving you the best odds. So this is a good point, this may be a good place to use your profit boost, right? Maybe something like this, right? I don't know. First quarter total points, Lions Packers over 7.5. FanDuel's giving you plus 100. All the other books have the over favorite, right? All the other books are saying, the over is the more likely outcome, right? Like Pinnacle, DraftKings, BetMGM, Bovada, they all have the over juiced. They all have the over as the more likely outcome. And we're getting plus 100, and with the profit boost, right, that would go to plus 150. So that's crazy, right? Because we're getting a favored outcome, right? It's like getting a coin weighted in your favor where you're betting 100 to win 150 in profit, right? Like if a coin is weighted to show up on heads and we're flipping it, and if it shows up on heads, I get 150 bucks. Otherwise, I lose 100 bucks. That's a no-brainer. And you could also arb it, right? You could hedge it with another sports book. If you're in Canada, you have access to Pinnacle, right? Plus 150, minus 102. You could use a little hedge calculator and guarantee yourself, a profit. But anyways, so again, some good bets on DraftKings. Maybe not that many. FanDuel, Caesars, whatever. So like I used to get home from work and I would just check all these books. I mean, the same way PrizePicks has Taco Tuesday, right? Underdog Fantasy has, their payout boost on Muncie. I used to just get home, take advantage of these profitable promos, and a lot of them I would just like arbitrage bet, try to turn it into a profit very quickly, right? Like this is very simple to do. If you have access to FanDuel and Pinnacle, plus 100, this is going to go up to plus 150 when you apply the profit boost. The opposite side is minus 102, so you just pull up a little hedge calculator, right? We're getting the over at plus 150, the under at minus 102. Let's say the promo is for a $10 max bet size. You make a risk-free profit of $238 in like 5 seconds of work. And it's not glamorous, don't get me wrong, but hey, it's free money. So anyways, we can go back to Underdog. Any more plays on Underdog? So again, some discrepancies in these League of Legends, but you only have 2 data points. It's PrizePicks versus Underdog, so it's kind of like middle or bust, right? Like I want to middle that or I don't want to play it at all. So anyways, if you're just tuning in, we got this 5-pick on Underdog. We locked in that. And what else do we have? So we got this 5-pick on Underdog, and then here was the PrizePicks Taco. Fliff. Yeah, of course. DraftKings is great. Anyways, we can go to Fliff next. Let's take a look at Fliff. So Fliff is great, right? Most sports books are only legal in, a couple places. DraftKings, I think, is in like 10, 11, 12, something like that states. What's great about Fliff is Fliff is in basically every state. So you can see here on Hosea Gray, books have been ripping lines towards his under. We already have his under and hits allowed. But if we wanted to, this seems like a decent spot to bet him under in strikeouts at minus 120. But anyways, we'll call it a day for now. Hopefully this live stream was helpful. I'll be back on live later. I'm sure, we got more tacos later tonight. So have a great rest of your day.